We haven't even gone through all of our budgeting processes yet to be able to substantiate the need based on this year's budget. We haven't had the sheriff's presentation yet, which is coming. And yet we're ready to jump right to a half-penny sales tax to solve all of our problems.
Flagler County Commission Chair Andy Dance says he's not quite there yet when it comes to using a half-cent sales tax to fund new deputies.
And I'll piggyback on the comment from Ms. Pennington, and she referenced the other successful half-penny campaigns. Well, those were successful because they went to the public and they crafted a plan and they sold it and they actually went out there to the public and asked for their support. So I think we have to go through that step. It's incumbent upon us to make that sale and get buy-in with the public. If we just do this year from the top down on a 4-1 vote, we are not engaging the public in that discussion and we're not earning their trust in that discussion. And I think ultimately in the long run, that does more harm than good.
Palm Coast City Councilman Nick Kloufis says budget cuts alone will not be enough to fund new deputies.
And I think over the last 8 years, I've seen the city of Palm Coast, quote unquote, tighten our belt to the maximum ability that we can. We've done a tremendous job doing that. We've added well over 20 deputies to the city of Palm Coast, dedicated to the city of Palm Coast through the Flagler County Sheriff's Office. But right now, I think we're at a point where we're going to need additional funding and we're going to need dedicated funding sources like the late, great Mayor Netz had instilled upon me how important dedicated funding sources are for things like this, things that are going to continue to have to be funded no matter what, especially as we sustain the level of growth that we expect to happen in Flagler County. I would also ask that you don't preclude closing the issue of a half-cent sales tax. I do think that we probably have to have more in-depth discussions about our budget and what we're going to be able to do as far as millage rate.
Earlier this week, the Palm Coast City Council and the Flagler County Commission held their second joint meeting in 2 months, but were unable to reach a consensus on how to fund new Flagler County Sheriff's deputies. Good morning, Flagler County. I'm Rich Carroll. You're listening to Flagler's Morning News on Friday, May 31st.
I want to remind people that with food and water and medications, it's recommended to have 7 days worth of supplies at the ready, not just for hurricanes, but for all emergencies. So you can really use the sales tax holiday to buy essentials as your first step in preparedness for the season.
Julie Murphy, Flagler County Communications Coordinator, referring to great deals being offered to help you and your family restock your disaster preparedness kits for hurricane season.
The state of Florida is offering disaster preparedness financial assistance through the 2024 Disaster Preparedness Sales Tax Holiday that begins June 1st, in conjunction with the Atlantic hurricane season and ends on June 14th.
For between $10 up to $3,000, with the biggest item being you cannot pay sales tax for portable generators. $100 or less, you can get ground anchor systems, tarps and other waterproof sheeting, ratchet strap kits, tie-down kits, dog and cat food weighing 50 pounds or less.
And there were other price points, too.
Under $70, you can avoid paying tax on smoke detectors or smoke alarms, fire extinguishers, carbon monoxide detectors. So it's really great to take advantage of that. Again, it begins on Saturday, June 1st, and it goes through Friday, June 14th. But don't worry, there's a second one that will be August 24th through September 26th.
For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Karen Johnson.
This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you.
Palm Coast is not a retirement community anymore. Half the people coming here are retirees 55 and older. The other half are people that are struggling, trying to make ends meet and having to leave the county every morning to go work somewhere else. And we have to fix that.
We continue to profile candidates running for Palm Coast mayor. Today, we're talking to Mike Norris.
What this city needs the most is industry coming in our city.
Norris says the key to Palm Coast's future is diversifying the local tax base.
We can't just be residential housing. That is not going to sustain us. Families now, our water bills are over $100 before we ever turn on the tap. And it's not sustainable. We have people paying upwards of $300 a month for their water bill. And quite frankly, that's appalling that's going on in our community.
If elected, Norris says he'll work with the city council and advocate to Tallahassee to bring new industries to Flagler County.
Smart manufacturing, pharmaceuticals, it doesn't matter. As long as we can get something in here. We are a net export of people leaving the city every morning to go to work. It's like 20,000 people leave the city and the county every morning to go work somewhere else. We need to flip that, or at least work towards it. That's the near-term goal, is to work towards that, getting something in here that can sustain these families.
On Monday, we'll hear from candidate Peter Johnson. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Daryl Moody.
What's going on in Flagler County this weekend? Let's hear from Stacy with Fun for Augie Kids.
Palm Coast Parks and Recreations is bringing families together through their Family Art Night program. This is a free event and all supplies are provided. Attention kids aged 9 to 12, the Flagler Beach Library is hosting their monthly Dragon Club. So come enjoy books, board games, play chess, and meet new friends. Charming Sisters Events presents a community food drive and vendor show. This event benefits Grace Community Food Pantry. There will be over 100 vendors, 10 food trucks, 2 bounce houses, a kids zone, and a fun DJ. For more on these events and others, please visit us on our website at fun4augiekids.com. Have a great weekend.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.
And now, Mike Licio with your WNZF local sports update.
Dozens of FPC athletes came together for the annual banquet for track and field Wednesday night to celebrate another great season, which saw multiple kids compete at state. Coach David Halliday relishes in bringing a cross-section of the entire athletic program together.
You get kids that are soccer kids and wrestling kids and basketball and cross country and football and swimming and cheerleading. That's the fun part of kind of melding those personalities together and those different programs. We do what we do and we pour into the kids all of our effort and heart, and I think it just comes back to us tenfold.
Like Gerard Tolbert in the long jump last year, FPC celebrated a state champion in Colby Cronk. Halliday on Cronk's historic day.
We always talk about being at your best when it matters most. You can be great when there's no pressure. I mean, he easily had the single best throwing day in the history of FPC or Flagler County.
FPC offensive coordinator Jake Medlock is spending the offseason as the QB for the Albany Firebirds in the Arena League. Last Friday, he made history.
Here's Medlock running out of time. He's going to throw it into the end zone, and it's caught! Caught by Philip Barnett for the 4 points.
Courtesy Vire Sports. Yes, 4 points. The first in AFL history. The conversion from the 10-yard line tied the game at 46 with 4 seconds left. On the ensuing kickoff, West Texas failed to get the return out of the end zone, giving a point to the Firebirds and the 47-46 win. Medlock had 5 total TDs in the game. Albany is 5-0 on the season. Former FPC great running back Jimmy Robinson had 78 total yards and a touchdown in a 23-22 win for the Mass Pirates of the Indoor Football League last week against Tulsa. Through 9 games, Jimmy has 432 yards rushing and 13 total touchdowns. News for Jacks announced their all-region soccer team last week. Bulldogs Ivy Chet, Natalie Neal, and Savannah O'Grady were honorable mention. This is your home for local sports with updates Mondays and Fridays. From the WNZF Sports Desk, I'm Mike Licio.